Say what you will about the rest of the movie, but the stunt work is great. Alright guys, back again with The Fall Guy, and I realized in my last video I called it Free Guy, which is a very different film. So, yeah, this is the latest movie with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, that is directed by someone, David Litch, not David Litch, who directed Bullet Train and John Wick, or no, he's a producer in John Wick, and Atomic Blonde, and Hobbs and Shaw, for some reason. Okay, I guess that makes sense. And I would say this is more in vein with Bullet Train than anything else, which is a very bombastic comedy that's very much a romantic comedy with some really great stunt work in there that seems to be largely practical. And they even have like a sequence in the end credits where they kind of show you how the stunts were filmed and how they were done, and that was actually pretty cool. I do like seeing shit like that, so it was kind of cool to see that practical element of it. And for the most part, it's fine. It's fun. You know, it's nothing like spellbinding. I'm not gonna say like it's not like incredible or like Hollywood failed this movie or something or another, but it's fun. You know, Ryan Reynolds has definitely gotten a chance more recently to flex his comedic muscles, which I always thought he's a better comedic actor than he is a serious actor, honestly, because he doesn't have that face where I can't tell if he's acting or he's just monotone. But I always like, ever since he did The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe, I thought like, okay, he's really fucking funny, and I like that his career is kind of taking this direction where he's able to explore that a bit more, because when he is allowed to do that, it's really fun. And Ryan Gosling does have really good chemistry with Emily Blunt as these two kind of dumb people who are had a fling once on a production set. He's a stunt guy who is the stunt work for Kraven the Hunter. But yeah, it's that actor. What's his name? Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's kind of this douchebag actor. But after an accident on set that left him with a massive spinal injury, he basically goes into hiding out of shame until years later when he had pulled back into set because Emily Blunt, who was a camera operator in his last job, is now directing, and he really wants to support her even though they haven't spoken in a long time. But you know, his agent calls him and says like, she wants you back because you're the only one that can do the stunt work that's needed. So he goes in there only to find out that's not the case. The real reason that he was brought there is because Aaron Taylor Johnson's character has disappeared, and his agent believes that he is the only one that can track him down because he is a stuntman. Now, in a weird way, what this story kind of reminds me of is this old Batman story from a long time ago, where it was an alt-world Batman where he was a stuntman, and something happened where he, like a stuntman playing Batman, and he got some kind of concussion or some case of amnesia or something like that, and then he became convinced he was the real Batman and could fight crime using his stuntman skills. It's kind of like that, in that Ryan Gosling has inexplicably really good like martial arts fighting skills. He can do all these crazy things like no problem, like do boat stunts and do all these things because he's a stunt guy, so he can easily take out crowds of people because that's how stunting works. And like, that being said, I don't really think that's a negative. I think it's just a quirk of what it's trying to do. And how much you can kind of buy into that really does kind of dictate how much you'll enjoy the movie, because it's a lot of stuff like that. And for the most part, it's pretty effective. There's some genuinely really funny jokes. I think one of my personal favorite was there's this bit where Ryan Gosling gets like drugged It has this big, colorful fight scene, but after all that's over, he asks the guy who drugged him, it's like, how long does this last? And he goes, when you stop seeing the unicorns. And from that point on, a unicorn just kind of randomly shows up in the background whenever Ryan Gosling's on screen, and I thought that was very funny. And I kind of wish I leaned into more of that, because I would just thought it was hysterical if it's just random points, like in the third act, a unicorn just appeared in the background. Maybe there is, I didn't see it. But yeah, so this movie also has Hannah Waddingham, who is from Ted Lasso, as his agent. She's a lot of fun in this, and also has, M'Baku from Black Panther, and also 9 Days, which is a brilliant film. Why is he not showing up on the top cast list? Like, what the fuck, IMDb? What the fuck? He's like a key part of the film. Why would you not? Okay, it's gotta be in here somewhere. Winston Duke. Okay, Winston Duke. I'm gonna remember that, because again, he's the main star in 9 Days. That's my all-time favorite films. He is great in that. He's a very underrated actor. So I'm glad to see him, start getting more limelight. And yeah, I mean, like, it's from the perspective of, once again, of these are two not very smart people who are kind of just stumble into each other's orbit and don't really know how to handle things in a professional way. They're just trying to do the best they can. Ryan Gosling is obsessed with her, and the whole reason he's doing this is to help her, so his like devotion to that is kind of cute, and some of the parallel shots they do between the two of them are also kind of cute. I do say the biggest criticism I have of this film is it does have like 3 to 4 endings for some fucking reason. Well past the point where it's like, okay, you could have wrapped this up like 10 scenes ago. It's like, so again, without giving anything away, because I do think you should go watch this. I do think it's a rental. When it gets to what you feel like, okay, they figure out who the bad guy is. They did a whole scheme to get the bad guy in a confession. They got what they needed, and you think, okay, they succeeded. This is where the movie ends, right? No, for some fucking reason, that climax is immediately followed up by another climax that goes on for another 10 to 15 minutes, which is then followed by another epilogue scene, which is like, okay, I can kind of see the reason behind that. But then, for some reason, the mid-credits stinger takes place before the epilogue and provides more context to the epilogue. But it's in the mid-credits scene, and I do not understand why. That was probably like the most baffling, because I was walking out, like, okay, they got the stunt work, that was pretty cool, I'm gonna leave. And then that scene starts playing, I was like, wait, why are we seeing this here? This doesn't make any sense to put this here. It feels like a producer note that also said there was too many climaxes at the end, and instead of just whittling it down to one, they just moved it around inexplicably, and it's baffling. Like, that was the weirdest decision I've seen for mid-credit scene possibly ever. But it's not a deal breaker. It's not like, it doesn't make the rest of the film bad by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said, there is a lot of impressive filmmaking on display. A lot of great work by great team, and also just by how undersung the stunt people are in the industry in general. It is really cool to see them kind of get the spotlight, and like what feels like a relatively honest reflection of the hard work and dedication that they all put into making films look good. And it's just nice to see, and I'm glad I got the highlight there. So the Fall Guy, I never saw the original show it's based on. I'm pretty sure there's a cameo in the mid-credits scene that is from the original show, but so I have no frame of reference for how it may or may not be reflected to the original source material. I do know it's better than like Chips and how it like interprets things, which I feel bad because I don't want to shit on oh god, what's his name? Dax Shepard. But yeah, Chips sucked. So yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about this movie. Impressive stunt work, good chemistry, kind of what you expect from a romantic comedy. But for the most part, it works. It's a solid 7 out of 10. So that's all I got to say about that one. I got a few other movies I'm going to go on my agenda here, so I will get to those, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.